Welcome to the Elite Real Estate Leaders Podcast, brought to you by Trailstone Insurance Group, bringing you interviews with the best real estate and mortgage professionals, empowering you to understand the current trends in the housing market so that you make the American dream your reality. Enjoy today's episode.
Welcome to the Elite Real Estate Leaders Podcast. Today we have with us Shay Jenkins and Sarah Alberts, who's branch manager and loan officer with S&S Mortgage Team. Shay and Sarah, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. We're happy to be here, guys.
Yeah, so tongue twister, I'm going to be saying Shay and Sarah, and so I'm just going to talk it. So we'll just have a great conversation, but we want to dive into what you do and how you do it and how you serve your community and your clients, but get us started first with your stories. What is your background and how did you get into the real estate industry?
Sarah, you go for it. You started me off in this industry.
I got you. So Shay and I we met in college back, I want to say it was probably around 2007, 2008. We went to Metro State here in Denver, but we met in college and instantly became best friends. And so, I don't know, we just kind of followed each other and kind of helped each other throughout our lives and just, got each other up off the ground after college. But I've been in the business for 12 years, I think going on 13. And then I helped Shay get into the business about 6 years ago, maybe 7.
7 years ago.
7 years ago. Yeah. So we were kind of both doing our own things. I worked with correspondent lenders, and then I went to a big bank, US Bank, and Shay kind of was doing the same thing. She was an assistant. But yeah, we went to Napa one year together, just on a friend's trip, and just kind of were like, let's throw in the towel and let's team up and create this kind of mini women power team. So we started S&S Mortgage Team in 2021, correct, Shay?
Yeah, but there's more to that story.
So, but wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. No. She just tells the cut and dry version. So pretty much, she was kicking butt in the mortgage field for a long time. I was in a lot of like oddball sales jobs, and one day we were at a Selena Gomez concert, and I hated what I did. I just absolutely despised it. I wasn't helping anybody in what I was doing, and she's like, well, you just should probably shush and go get your mortgage license. So that's exactly what I did. Nobody would hire me. Okay. Nobody would hire me because I didn't have any experience. So I actually started off with a Spanish speaking loan officer only, and I did not speak Spanish. So I learned mortgages with Google Translate, right?
Wow.
Learned them that way, went under a pretty big heavy hitter. And I was just being an assistant for about, I would say 5 years, 4.5 years. And then Sarah and I, like she said, we went to Napa. You know what happens in Napa? You drink some wine, right? So the juices were flowing, the ideas were flowing. And, she was going to walk away from the big bank, because she was at a big bank where it's different. It's because if you're doing what we're doing now, like our job is to go out there and get agents, right? That is our job. And with big banks, they really, the deals come into you. And then me being an assistant, we were just like, you know what, we have had enough. So we kind of both walked away. And like Sarah said, we threw in the towel, and we started at New American Funding in June of 2021. It's crazy because our VP asked us like, hey girls, like what are your 3-year goals? And we said, we want to own our own branch in 3 years. We think that would be great. And then within 5 months, we had enough production. And he's like, do you guys want your own Denver branch? And we said, abso-freaking-lutely. And here we are now, trying to navigate through this fun market,
There's an observation that I'll make with that revised, deeper story, which is, you don't like an industry. So let's get in mortgages, which means you got to get tested and licensed, because back in the day, you just said, oh, I'm going to do it. And then you're doing it. So these days it's rigorous. So A, then B, you couldn't find a job. Then C, you found one with a top producer who is high volume, I'm sure, like you said, and you couldn't speak the language. So how easy would it have been to have just bounced and said, nice try, peace out, I'm gone? So you persevered. Something was in your belly, the fire in your belly to persevere in that industry. I would ask this question because of that. What was it that made you go, I can do this. I want to do this. And man, this is now my new normal.
Sarah, probably, honestly.
I mean, yeah. Me personally, I knew I was really good at this pretty quick right away. And I really enjoyed it. I am a very analytical person. But I think also Shay and I share the fact that we just really enjoy and strive to help families, have the American dream and get into homes when they think they couldn't. But I mean, I've always just been, a numbers person. So it came pretty natural for me. And I think Shay, it didn't take you long either.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sarah's just a complete gangster at what she does. So like a lot of agents come to us with save the day deals. Now, is it our favorite thing to do? Probably not, right? But it's so amazing how Sarah and I work together. Like if I were to just be out here doing it on my own, I honestly don't know where I would be or what would make me persevere. But Sarah's so good at what she does. She like reads guideline books to go to bed, right? She's crazy. And we're pretty much yin and yang. Like I'm more out there. I'm more salesy. I'm more getting the agents, bringing in the deals, and Sarah freaking closes them in a blink of an eye, right? Mm-hmm. So I think what's really made us persevere is just honestly the fact that we have each other, mm-hmm. is the number one thing. And we keep each other motivated. And like, I want to do good because I want to do good for Sarah. And I don't know if that's the same way she feels, but it's like, we're in this together. We're 50-50 together and we share the same goals. And I mean, our goals are a little bit different. Like she could speak on her goals, but my goals are to like support the loved ones around me and the people who've had my back through day one. And I know she's a single mom. And it's like, if we respect one another, if we have that respect for one another, like we won't let each other fail, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Total sense.
Like the personal, it's like having a workout partner. You don't feel like working out, but doggone it, she's going to get me out of the bed at 5 a.m. or whatever. So it's that accountability. That's really awesome.
Mm-hmm. Or on the golf course if you're Sarah and Shay.
Yes. Or on the golf course. That's for sure.
I love that you guys bring these two different sides together, and that's how you close your deals as a team. It sounds like if you're familiar with DISC, and I'm a DISC practitioner, I'm always all about the DISC. So I think Sarah really brings that high C, the detail, and the guidelines, and then Shay's that DI, really out there talking with people, getting the agents. So I feel like you guys really complete each other from a DISC standpoint, which is what I absolutely love hearing. But what I want to know from you guys is, what are you doing differently to make it work right now? Because like you said, we are in a really hard market. Things are difficult. So what are you doing?
Yeah. I'll start. Sarah, you want to go?
No, go for it.
we just talk. I mean, like what we do differently is I think that we're honestly just ourselves. And we're honest. We're not trying to be anybody that we're not. If anybody knows me, they know that I'm a little crazy, that I could say some off the wall things, but we're authentic. I try to be as authentic as possible. So when I'm speaking to an agent, I'm just completely coming from the heart. I do not come from any type of sales tactic at all. So if it's like we sit down with an agent, it's more of like a friendship vibe to start first, right? And if you like us, great. If you don't, then there's a million other lenders out there that you can connect well with. But I really think that our strong part is definitely just being authentic, being us. And like, honestly, you guys, in this market, what it comes down to is work. Like, you just need to work. You need to try. You need to put in the effort. You need to approach things from all different avenues, all different angles, all different sides. And, we see some people in the industry who are like, well, why am I not getting a deal? And it's like, well, I don't see you out and about, and we're always there to help and guide when we can. But it's like, it comes down to, man, you got to put in the work. You got to wake up. You're going to say, what can I do today? What agent can I call today? Who can I take out to lunch today? What can I post on social media today? Like, you just got to be out there. You got to be working. You got to be grinding. I don't know. Sarah, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of that. And I think, Shay and I do focus on being in the community as much as we can. So like she said, we're constantly doing events, going and doing things and just trying to really give back to the real estate community as well. Like how can we help you as an agent succeed? But I think just being out in the community, we have two amazing assistants that we couldn't do it without. They're back here at the office making sure everything is running fine while we're out trying to get new business and really just, show face to a lot of places.
Totally.
We've mentioned the market that we're in, which, you pick a month and a year and rates are great, not so great, up, down, and all around. So rates always move around. So that's whatever market, it doesn't matter. But given the kind of special market we're in, are there unique programs that you find yourself gravitating to that open up opportunities for your borrowers?
For sure. Yeah. Shay, you can speak on this one.
Oh, 100%, and what the standpoint before we pitch any type of product, what we do is we educate our buyers. We educate them. We don't have a crystal ball on exactly what's going to happen. We can just really follow the experts and educate ourselves as much as possible so we can educate our clients as much as possible. So we come to them, again, not in a very salesy way, but we come to them with education. Here's where the market stands. This is what we think will happen next year, right? There's no promises made, and kind of educate them on, is it smart to buy now? Is it smart to buy later? And just give them the facts that we currently have. And if they feel like it is, a good time for them to buy now, what we are really, we have two huge programs that are great right now. One of them is just with New American Funding only. It's called NAF Cash. So it makes our buyers all cash buyers, right? So if you have a contingent home to sell, and a lot of people don't like accepting contingent offers right now, then you don't have to do a contingent offer, right? Because you're an all cash buyer. So that's huge. We're using this probably on 40% of our deals if they are contingent buyers.
Wow.
And then another thing that And then another thing that we are pitching, of course, and I'm sure everybody and their mom has heard about this one, but it's either a 1-0 buy down or a 2-1 buy down, because in this market right now, there's not a lot of people overbidding on houses or getting into bidding wars or appraisal gaps. And so this is the market currently where we are seeing a ton of seller concessions. And what we could do with those seller concessions is, of course, do a 1-0 buy down where, like, let's say your rate is at 7 today, your first year would be 6. Or if we get enough, we could do a 2-1 buy down where your first year would be a 5%, right? And before that rate goes up, if we're predicting the market to go in the way that we think, and there's obviously no guarantees, then we say, we could just refinance you into a more permanent rate, and you could skip out on the bidding wars and the appraisal gaps, when or if rates do drop. So education first, but yes, there's a ton of programs out there that are helping buyers. And then we also have like a heroes loan program for our teachers out there, our firefighters, police officers, paramedics, anybody who really is out there in the community, doing amazing work. Then we also give a portion of our commissions to help either buy down rate or go towards closing costs. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to navigate through this market. I don't know, Sarah, did I miss anything?
Nope. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Also, I was thinking while you were mentioning those, the kind of borrowers that you work with, obviously, first-time home buyers, or I'm getting ready to move into a bigger house or downsize. What about investors? Do you find that the appetite these days for investors is good in this sense that, the numbers might be a little different than it used to be, but if you buy right and structure it right, you still have a really good cash flow? Is that something that you're seeing working with your clients?
Oh, this is a question for Sarah all day, every day.
I was going to say, we all know that changes with investment properties and second homes, happened a few years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, that kind of deterred them from purchasing. They made it a little bit more expensive, but I don't think that that's really affecting a lot of our investors. Shay and I are licensed in 38 states, I want to say, throughout the U.S. So we have a ton of clients who are purchasing investment properties, where it does make sense and the numbers do fall into line. So I think, I don't think it's changed. If an investor has a mindset of purchasing as an investment property, then the numbers just have to make sense to them.
Mm-hmm. And you would still do what you mentioned before with maybe some buy downs to kind of weather out the rates. And then if, a couple, 3 years down the road, rates start, looking differently, you still can refinance and increase that cash flow. But I think that's really huge is you can't look backwards a year or 2 years ago. You have to go, here's where I'm right now. And if you're relocating and you have to buy, if it's smart to buy a house, then you just make the best decision. If you're looking for an investment property and you want this cash flow and the equity growth and the tax write-off, make the best decision. So, yes, the rates are a little bit, up or down or all around, but at the end of the day, if it's a good deal with real estate, and we know over hundreds of years, real estate's a good deal. So just make the best decision. And I love the word that you guys used, which is educate. We're not going to throw you in this, that, or the other. We're going to teach you and assess and figure out what's best for you.
Right.
What's the saying?
That's another, if you think about it, real estate's not going anywhere, right? And it's the number one way to build generational wealth. So if you can just really sit down and hone down the numbers on any specific property, I know the numbers will make sense maybe eventually. Do they make the most sense now? Yes or no, but you got to look in the future and look at the bigger picture of everything.
Yep.
And what's the saying? 5 years ago and today are the best times to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't we all heard that? Unfortunately.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, one thing that Sarah's taught me is like every mortgage is like a puzzle, right? Her brain is like a puzzle, and everybody's situation is different, right? Like, do you have a portfolio of investments? Do you have a portfolio of real estate? And, and she's kind of the expert when it comes down to that, crunching the numbers, and she will sit down with clients and literally help them crunch numbers. And so it's like everybody's different, so we're here to sit down and educate and talk to anybody and, make sure it makes sense for you before pulling the trigger. But yeah, real estate isn't going anywhere. Colorado real estate isn't going anywhere.
Absolutely.
Now, if we had a CPA on this interview with us, we could ask this question. So I'll preface it to say this is just a concept. So talk to your CPA. But I would wonder if you guys would recommend to someone that's going, oh man, the rates are a touch higher. Could you work with your CPA and say, okay, with the tax deductibility, how much could I go back to my employer and adjust my W-4 so that I get more in my paycheck? That whole strategy. So, we don't need to mention numbers or viability of that, but I think that you guys would bring in experts and say, here's an option to consider if it's good for you, but that would help close some of that gap.
Totally. Yep. And I know, I've worked with financial planners in the past who can put together, charts and spreadsheets and all these graphs for you to visually understand the numbers that I'm presenting you, So I think when it comes down to anybody's finances, if you can just see the bigger picture and say, okay, this, I'm going to have to invest this amount of money right now to grow X amount of money in the next few years, then, it's kind of a team effort between mortgage and CPAs and financial advisors and, even insurance agents of that nature too.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, so you mentioned at the very beginning of your, kind of time with that company, your boss coming in going, where do you see yourself in 3 years? Let's now reassess that and say, what do you see your future goals moving forward?
I want to take over the freaking world.
What does that look like?
Yeah, no, I know. I kind of just, we're putting our hands in a lot of pots right now. Like my biggest goal, it might be a little bit different from Sarah's, but I want to grow our Denver branch, right? Like we are hiring loan officers right now. We are picky with who we hire because we want to make sure work ethic is there, but I would definitely love to grow our Denver branch. I'm not sure how big. We still kind of like our boutique feel that we have right now. But me personally, like I want to be known for being the best at what I do. I want to be known for being the best in Denver, Colorado for what I do in lending and being an amazing human being while doing it and help as many families as we can, and I have my little pause and other ventures here and there. But yeah, I mean, I want to take over Denver. I want to take over Denver lending and, just be the best I possibly can hopefully with Sarah by my side if she feels the same way.
If she'll have you.
I think we reach goals and we make new ones for each other and for ourselves constantly. I mean, the first year that we were teamed up, we made the President's Club. So we were top producers of the team or of the company. And then this year we're on pace to do the same. So I think just really, just realizing the goals that we've accomplished and just creating new ones from there is what's going to keep us consistently going.
I think that's a huge piece that you bring up, which is you always have something to look forward to. Because if you set a goal of X, whatever X is, and you meet it, then it's kind of like, oh, so you need to have that goal and then be working toward that next goal and the next goal. And it might be, moving from, survival to thriving to then giving back. So it may be we've taken over the world. Now we're going to give it back, whatever that looks like.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're just getting started, guys. We're really just getting started. We've only been doing this 2.5 years, and I think we've made, I'm extremely proud of us, but like I said, we're just getting started.
I see you girls on social. You work so hard. I really admire you. I think you guys do a great job.
And I think what makes us unique too, and just a little bit different, is we have fun doing it. Like it's just, I really truly enjoy getting up every day and knowing that I have Shay by my side and can just do this together, like in a fun way. So yes, it's work, but we also just enjoy it, every day.
I think that is awesome. I love you guys' energy. That is obvious. So what I would say is if someone is listening to this going, love the energy, I want to tap into that, what's the best way they can learn more about your team and reach out and connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, we have a website, www.ssmortgageteam.com. But really, we're all over social media. So anything SS Mortgage Team, Instagram, Facebook, our personal socials. I mean, we're pretty easy to find. I'm more than willing to give out my personal number, call, text, email, whatever is best for anybody, but we're always here to help. My number is 303-507-6794, and the team email is ssmortgageteam@nafinc.com for nafinc.com.
Yep. And my cell, all my clients have my personal cell. Mine is 720-366-9200.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a real pleasure talking with you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, ladies.
Golf soon. If anybody wants to golf, you can also hit us up that way.
Thank you for listening to the Elite Real Estate Leaders Podcast, brought to you by Trailstone Insurance Group. To learn more about the topics mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.eliterealestateleaders.com.